You're pregnant! Congratulations! Woo! You are ready to pack your hospital bag.
But what do you pack?
That is the dilemma of every new mama.
And today we're going to go over exactly what you need for whenever you give birth.
Yes, and these are the items we brought with us that we actually used. I'm Liana.
And I'm Erin, and this is A Mom's Best Friend,
The YouTube channel to help make your mom life a little bit easier. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment below if you have any new feedback, any tips, tricks, anything that you packed in your hospital bags. Let us know. As a new YouTube channel, your feedback means everything to us. We've organized our hospital list into 3 main categories.
Number 1, mama.
Number 2, baby.
Number 3, your birth partner.
And we added an extra bonus category of things that aren't essential, but will make your hospital stay so much better. So let's get into it.
Number 1 is a car seat. You must have a car seat. They will not let you leave with your baby without having one.
Yes, this is so important. Even if you're planning on walking home from the hospital, you need a car seat. If you live in New York City, if you live downtown Chicago, any big city where you don't need a car, make sure you check with your hospital to know what the regulations are.
And that brings up another point. You're going to want a car seat cover too, because you want to keep your baby protected through any kind of weather.
Yes, and another essential thing that goes with your car seat is a mirror, so you can watch your baby from the front seat of the car. Although, if you're like most moms, it's totally normal to sit in the back seat with your baby the first few times. The next item on the list is a hospital gown. This is the one that I wore in the hospital. Yes, the hospital has gowns that you can wear, and they wash them, they're clean. However, I did a lot of research, and medical professionals who work in labor and delivery do say it's a little bit cleaner to bring your own hospital gown, but it was important to me to have a clean hospital gown of my own. So I quickly ordered this the week before I gave birth, and I'm really glad I did. It helped me feel more comfortable and relaxed. Also, I listed 2 varieties down below. This one has buttons on the side, which is great for nursing, and the other variety unbuttons all the way down.
Next item on the list is comfy socks. Now, I wore them the whole stay throughout the hospital, and sometimes hospitals can get so cold, and whenever you wear warm socks, you will not be cold. Also, you just exerted so much energy, like giving birth. You deserve to feel comfy and be comfy. So socks.
Socks. Another item that I'm really glad I brought was personal wipes. Summer's Eve wipes are ones that I would recommend. I labored for 3 days, so my experience was drawn out. I had time to have some personal care going on. If your labor is super quick, these items won't necessarily apply to you, but for someone who's in the hospital for a few days, it really can come in handy. Another item on the list to bring is your own pads. Whether you are bleeding after birth or before birth or during labor, having pads is super important. Yes, the hospital will have some, however, they only have a certain size and a certain type, so I like to bring the ones that I know fit my body. The other thing that I liked about having them is that if I ran out of the hospital ones at 2 a.m., I didn't need to buzz the nurse and wait for her to bring me new pads. I already had a supply. I had a C-section and I still needed pads. Any way that you give birth, you're probably gonna need pads.
Okay, so another option that you might want to look into is the perineal spray. So this is a spray that you put down there after you give birth. It has a cooling effect, and let's be honest, that area has gone through a lot in the past few hours, and you might want some sense of relief down there. So this is the Frida Baby Peri Bottle Cleaner, and this is so good because it has this angled squirter, and the ones that they give you at the hospital, at least the ones that I had, were just straight. And so whenever you're spraying down there, it's easier because it has the angle, and it'll spray just by doing this, and you don't have to stick your hand in the toilet and pump it up there.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, I'm having a C-section, should I buy one of those? I would say yes, because I had a C-section and I still use that for probably the first month or 2 months even after giving birth. This perineal spray is the one that we were talking about. You can just unscrew it and pour some of it right in there with water, dilute it, and it really helps everything to feel so much better down there. The next item on the list is an exercise ball. I absolutely loved my exercise ball. I got it in my 3rd trimester or maybe my 2nd trimester, and I used it at my desk at work. My back hurt so bad halfway through my pregnancy, and the sitting on the hospital exercise ball was the only thing that I could sit on that wouldn't hurt my back. When I brought it to the hospital to labor, it was a lifesaver. I labored for 3 days, so having this exercise ball as something to sit on was so helpful. When I gave birth, the hospital bed was super uncomfortable in the labor room, and so I'm really glad I had another option to use at the hospital. The next item on the list is a water bottle. This is the one that I brought, and all of the nurses complimented me on how much water could fit in this. I think it's 24 ounces, or I'm not sure. I put the actual description down below. But I love this water bottle because I was so thirsty, especially after giving birth. The medication that they give you, whether you have whatever kind of birth you have, C-section or other, you will be so thirsty. Trust me, I was not ever that thirsty any other time in my life that I can remember. So this was a lifesaver.
So another item you might think about bringing is a robe. So you'll have hospital gowns, but usually they have like an open end either in the front or in the back. And a robe will help kind of keep you covered more. So if you do go down to the NICU to go see your baby or the other babies, then it'll really help cover you up.
Yeah, and if you give birth during the coronavirus like I did, you probably will not be allowed to leave your room. However, the robe was super, super, super helpful because when you're nursing your baby in the recovery room, it's just an easy thing to put on and take off. I definitely recommend it, and I actually had a matching swaddle with my baby, and it was really cute to have our first photos matching.
Maybe you should think about bringing your own pillow and your own blanket.
Absolutely. I loved having my own pillow and my own blanket in the labor and delivery room. So I was all about ambiance. As I mentioned before, my labor was 3 days and I was in the hospital for 6 days. So bringing my own favorite blanket and my own pillow was so important to me. Also, your birth partner will want to bring their own pillow and blanket as well.
So category 2 is for the baby. The first item on the list is my personal favorite, the breast friend. So this is the breast friend, and this is like a helper for whenever you're nursing the baby. This will unbuckle and buckle to go around her waist. It's also adjustable, and it's literally like the perfect setup for your baby. They lay here and you just latch them on.
And it has this pocket, which is super convenient. You can put your chapstick in there, you can put any necessities that you need, whatever. So I also used it. I highly recommend it. The next item on the list is baby swaddles. So this is the swaddle that was in the hospital for the baby. You're not supposed to take it home, but I did.
I took a lot of them.
Yeah, take it all home because you're paying good money for that room.
Yes.
So it's fine, it's cute, it's great, but I'm really glad we brought our own swaddles because this one isn't as big as the other swaddles that I have. So for example, this is one of the swaddles that we brought with us, and
Wow.
It's much bigger, and I just highly recommend you bring, I would say maybe 2 swaddles. But if you're giving birth soon, don't panic and go buy swaddles. They will have them there. But if you want something cute and personal and bigger, these muslin swaddles are great.
Okay, third category is for your partner. One thing I didn't mention before is toiletries. Of course, you're gonna want toiletries for yourself. You don't know how long you're gonna be staying in one place, so you wanna bring your toothbrush, you wanna bring your hairbrush, all those goodies, makeup, you name it, bring it.
And your birth partner has to bring all that as well. I recommend your birth partner brings their own pillow and blanket too. If you feel like you have too many items, You can keep some of it in the car and they can easily run out and grab an extra blanket or pillow if they need. The hospital will have blankets and pillows, but they will feel more comfortable if they have their own.
So one thing you could have for your birth partner is energy drinks. They're going to be up checking on the baby, checking on you, and they want to stay energized.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend bringing an energy drink. You're going to be running on adrenaline and they may not have as much adrenaline keeping them awake. So have them pack a few extra energy drinks. The one that we really like is this clean yerba mate. There's nothing in it that is bad for you. It's only tea and vitamins, and I listed it below. My husband loves these ones.
So another thing is snacks. Bring some food to eat. The hospital may or may not have a cafeteria that you can order from, but that's usually just for the mom. So your birth partner needs some food too, so don't forget to bring food or snacks for him or her.
If the food at the cafeteria is something that you don't like, order DoorDash, order Grubhub. We did a bunch of times when we were in the hospital because we were there for 6 days, so the cafeteria food got old fast.
One thing that you don't want to forget is chargers. Bring your phone charger, bring your laptop charger, any digital device, bring your charger. The last thing you want is to be FaceTiming or Zooming a family member, showing them your new baby and them meeting for the first time, and then all of a sudden your phone goes dead and you can't even share this precious moment with your loved ones. Before you leave the hospital, they're actually going to have you select a pediatrician, whether you've done your research or not. So it might be best to already have one in mind.
Our pediatrician visited us in the hospital for the first time, which I didn't expect, but I'm really glad that we chose one. If you're not sure who to pick, ask your neighbors, ask your friends. I ended up just picking one that my neighbor recommended, and I'm really glad I went with that person. So the next item on the extra list is laptops, tablets, Bluetooth speaker. So as I mentioned, we were in the hospital for 6 days, and before giving birth, which was a 3-day period, we watched movies on our laptop. We used the Bluetooth speaker to listen to music. You are paying top dollar for this room, so make it your own. Make it a good ambiance. Bring your own items. Bring your laptop, bring your Bluetooth speaker, listen to music.
So something I never thought of at all before I actually got to the hospital was a birth photographer. Someone came in and they offered the services at that hospital, but that doesn't mean that a birth photographer will be there at every hospital. So if a birth photographer is what you're looking for, just keep it in mind. Schedule on ahead of time.
And if you're like me, I gave birth during the Corona time. We were not allowed to have birth photographers. What I did instead of a photographer is I bought this lens for my iPhone, and it is a professional lens that you just clip onto your iPhone, and I got really awesome footage of my baby in the first few days with it, and I highly recommend this. There's a macro lens and there is a wide angle lens. Another item that you might want to think about is a cute outfit for your baby to take home. I was not sure how many outfits to pack for the hospital, so for the baby. So I recommend bringing 1 to 4 outfits. Most of the time in the hospital, your baby is going to be swaddled. They're really not going to be wearing onesies. They're really not going to be wearing outfits. So I only put my baby in one outfit, their take-home outfit, and this is their take-home outfit. They recommended that it was something that they could easily unbutton at the bottom because they have to check the wrist or the anklet bands on the baby when you go to discharge the baby. So something that's easy to open, and this is super cute because as he grew the past couple months, I could take a picture of him next to his hospital outfit.
If you have visitors coming to see your baby, maybe bring some hand sanitizer so that they can get all sanitized before touching your little one.
Yeah, absolutely. And my OBGYN recommended that people wash their hands for 5 minutes before touching the baby. I don't know if that's just because of coronavirus or what, but 5 minutes of washing your hands, that seems like a lot. But bring hand sanitizer.
So another thing that you might want to think about is bringing a breast pump. Here's one right here. Okay, so one thing that you might want to think about bringing is a breast pump. If you don't bring one, then the hospital will provide one.
Yeah, so when I gave birth during coronavirus, we could not use the hospital's breast pump. So my husband had to leave me at the hospital, drive all the way home and get my breast pump and drive back. And the nurses really and the lactation specialists really want you to start using a breast pump right away, especially if you're a first-time mom, because they want to help encourage your body to start producing the milk. This is the breast pump that I love to use because it's so portable. I just put it in my bra and hook it up and it works amazing. I cannot recommend this one enough. I use the Spectra one and this is way better than Spectra. So the last item on the extra list is these sleeping headphones. I love them because they're totally flat against your head and you can easily sleep with them. You can also pull them over to cover your eyes at night. And if you don't bring that, you could also just bring the sleeping eye cover for keeping the light out. Because when you're in the hospital room, there's going to be a lot of machines that have lights. And if you're used to a really dark room like I am, this will definitely help you get some sleep eye, especially if you're napping during the day, which you probably will after giving birth. Congratulations! You made it through our hospital bag must-haves.
If you have any suggestions that we didn't mention, please put them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Any feedback helps us. This is our very first YouTube video! Woo! Be sure to tune in for our next coming up video, which is must-have baby essential items for once the baby gets home from the hospital. And we've got a list and we are ready to share it with you. That was so much fun!
Okay.
Cheers!
I don't have anything. That's what I do with them.
So the next...
You need to do it! My eyes are like going like crap.
Our first YouTube video!
Oh my goodness.